One Night in His Arms, Part 2. The private jet touched down just as the sky turned a golden amber. Sienna Drake, dressed in a silk cream blouse and oversized sunglasses, stepped onto the runway. Behind her, Ethan Cross, her ex-bodyguard turned something else, carried her luggage with effortless control. They weren't supposed to be here together, but after the threats in New York, her film shoot had been moved to Venice, and she'd insisted on bringing him just for a week. From the moment they left the airport, the world seemed slower here, canals instead of streets, gondolas instead of cars. But even in paradise, Ethan's eyes scanned every shadow. Their hotel wasn't really a hotel, it was a renovated Venetian palazzo, its rooms filled with warm gold light and antique furniture. Sienna's suite was connected to Ethan's by a single adjoining door. That first night, she wandered into the sitting room to find him shirtless, toweling his hair after a shower. She froze. His body was as she remembered, broad chest, lean muscle, a faint scar across his ribcage. "Forgot the door was unlocked," he said, voice low. "I don't mind," she murmured, heat rising to her cheeks. The next day, at a masquerade gala for the film's launch, Sienna spotted him, a tall man in a white mask, standing perfectly still in the corner, his gaze fixed on her. Every time she turned away and looked back, he was there. Ethan noticed too. His hand found her waist, pulling her against him as they moved through the crowd. "Smile for the cameras," he whispered in her ear. "And don't look scared." His palm pressed into her lower back, protective, possessive. Later, back at the palazzo, the tension between them was unbearable. Sienna poured them glasses of deep red wine and stepped onto the balcony. The water shimmered below, lantern light flickering across her bare shoulders. Ethan joined her, his hand brushing against hers as he took the glass. Neither spoke for a moment, the air charged. When she finally turned to face him, his gaze lingered on her lips. She whispered, "You're not my bodyguard anymore." "No," he said, stepping closer, "but I still can't let anyone touch you." His lips claimed hers, slow, deep, with a hunger he'd held back for too long. Her fingers curled into his shirt, pulling him closer until she could feel the heat of his body against hers. He kissed her like a man who knew the night was borrowed time. It happened fast, a call from her assistant telling her to come outside. She slipped on a coat and left without telling Ethan. The narrow alleyways of Venice were quiet, too quiet. Then she saw him, the man in the white mask. He stepped toward her. Two others appeared behind him. Before she could scream, Ethan's voice cut through the night, "Sienna." He barreled into the alley, slamming one man into the wall and dragging her behind him. They ran, over bridges, through winding passages, until they reached a dead-end courtyard. Ethan pushed her against the wall, his body shielding hers. His breath was hot against her ear. "You ever scare me like that again, and I'll..." She silenced him with a kiss, desperate, adrenaline-fueled, almost frantic. Back at the palazzo, Ethan didn't let her go. He locked the door, tossed his jacket aside, and sat her on the edge of the bed. His hands traced her shoulders, her back, her waist, not rushing, but exploring, memorizing. Sienna's breath came in shallow bursts. She'd never felt safer, or more dangerously alive. The night was a blur of soft gasps, whispered warnings, and kisses that left them both trembling. As dawn broke, she lay curled against him, her fingers tracing the scar on his chest. He was half asleep when his phone rang. He answered, and froze. When he hung up, his expression was grim. "That was my contact in New York," he said. "It's someone close to you, and they've sold us out." Fade to black.